Good morning. And you're quick. I think it was only on there for like 15 seconds before you popped in. How are you doing this morning? Oh, I'm okay so far. Woke up a little early, but it's not unusual. Normally I'm awake by 5:30, 6 o'clock. So only sleeping until 6:30 on Saturday, I guess, isn't too bad. Just wanted to get some more black done today. No, it's boring doing all this black, but there's still a big chunk of it left. But it's really exciting being able to see my whole piece of Ada now that I'm working on. Now that I finally got my scroll. Hey, that's awesome. Sometimes you just gotta get that little bit more sleep. My brain and my body is still a little wackadoodle from our trip to Texas. So I can't decide if I'm going to be sleepy or awake. Man, I feel like it's really quiet in here. I'm not used to being quiet. Well, I mean, I am, but I'm used to there being everybody else making noise but me. I was going to play my game instead, and I was like, no, I need to try and do at least a few stitches before I do anything else. Because last weekend I didn't actually get almost any stitches since I ended up playing more of it. But I did get plenty of stitches while I was traveling. And I'm going to have to post a video later because I went down to Texas, and since we were really close, I went and met up. Me and my friend went and met up with Adam, and we went to a craft shop, and I spent a lot of money on some very pretty threads, and I need to show what I got. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I was thinking about switching it up this weekend and playing something different, but I thought the same thing last weekend and then ended up just playing that again too. feel like my light's not bright enough this morning. Maybe if I changed, that might help. Because that does seem like it's a little bit brighter. I feel like this row was really long. After mainly stitching at the beginning of this in those 10 by 10 blocks, stitching across multiple blocks just seems kind of crazy now. Figured maybe if I get tired this evening and don't want to play anymore, I can work on getting the rest of my grid across this top section. I'm still not used to gridding though. So I look at my Aida and I'm like, what in the world am I looking at? I feel like I need to turn on some music. I'm just using a mechanical pencil. So I'm just, the outer edge, I'm doing the little tiny ticks. But since I'll be stitching over all of this, I figure it didn't matter if I just did the corner sections. It's a little loud. But the mechanical pencils worked really well. Sit down. I say it's really quiet in here. I turn on music and then immediately there comes on. You know, getting this aluminum frame is awesome. And I don't know why I thought it was going to be a lot heavier. Like this scroll itself, because it's so big, it's really heavy, but I honestly thought it was going to be heavier than it is. But I'm so happy with it. I I feel like it definitely makes it easier to video while I'm stitching because I'm not constantly moving it. It's a lot more stationary than my wooden stand was. And I was super excited because last night I hit 1%. I look at how much I've stitched already on this and I'm like, 1%, but where? Like, it feels like it should be 30%. Yes, progress. When I was getting this on the scroll, I swear it took me like 45 minutes to get it lined up enough to where I could actually tighten the outer bars. I fought with it and fought with it. I was like, whoever does this, on regular basis, undoing it so they can show the complete progress of their size of work. I'm like, man, they got some patience because that would take me forever. Well, I've got one of my hairs laying across it, and it's bugging me. There. I've been having the same problem with the kitty hair. I'm still not used to having kitty hair everywhere. But he's so adorable. I can live with it. He was a butt last night, though, and I ended up having to lock him out of the bedroom because he would not stop waking me up. He thinks he deserves a can of wet food no matter what time of day. But now that I'm awake and in here, he's just snoozing. Hello, hello. I'm good. Just getting a little bit of stitching in. I figure if I can work my way down and get another big chunk of this black done, I should be down into here with the black if I can manage. Wow, so you got a lot of work done on it. Isn't that always exciting when you look at your stitch count and you're like, holy crap, I don't feel like I did that much, but wow, I did. That's a very decent number for stitching. I only got a couple hundred yesterday, but like I said, I did get some more gridding done on this, so that's why I didn't get more. That now I had to work yesterday after being gone for 4 days. Yay! I can't wait to see update. I love progress pictures so much. I think that's why I post them all the time. I feel like people like to follow along and watch it come to life. Yay, I'll have to look at it when I'm done with the live today. I didn't manage to get through the notifications, at least before I started the live, but I didn't actually go and look at anything. I figured once I got some stitching in, I could do that afterwards and then switch to my game. Who knows, maybe I'll even stitch a little bit more this evening. I will be for a little while. I'm hoping to get in a couple hundred stitches before. So at least another 30 to 45 minutes probably. This piece does not want to go through. It was fighting me. How's it working out for you? I know in the beginning it took me a little while to get used to, but now I'm just like, oh hey, yeah. I do think it helps when you don't have the opportunity to flip your project over as easily to weave in ends. I do feel like weaving them in is more secure, but thankfully this is going to end up getting framed, so I'm not too worried about that. I think if it was a piece that I was going to just hang more like a tapestry, then I would want to weave it in instead, though. Yes, the Q-snaps are great, especially for projects that are like under like a 10 by 10 size, just because you have it all in that one section and you don't have to worry about moving it so frequently. It's a decent sized section to work in. Come on. There we go. There was a big period of time that I used nothing but Q-snaps just because it was so much more convenient. Hey, sometimes you gotta give yourself some variety. I bought 3 little kits for $2 a piece whenever I went to Hobby Lobby while we were down in Texas, and it helped not having nothing in my hands, because I really like to at least work on something. that wooden butterfly. It turned out really cute, but I don't know if I would work on wood again. I like that Ada has a little of a give and makes it easier to pull your needle through. The wood did not. See, that is good having something to do. So like when we were in the hotel room, that's what I was doing, was I was just working on one of the smaller kits. I may finish that mini butterfly today too, just because all I've got left to do is the black. And then put it in its little hoop. And then that'll be 2 projects finished that I'm going to give to my sister to go along with all the rest of her butterfly stuff. That's the only reason that I got the... Thank you for the follow. It's the only reason I got the wooden one, was because it was a butterfly and I thought she'd like that. I'm begging for mercy. I want your mercy. Okay, but just in this little bit of time that I've been live, I'm already sitting at 67 stitches. It's always like, I love having the ability to see how many stitches I've done, because like if I wasn't using this and I didn't know how many stitches I've done, I would be like, man, I'm not moving very far, because I've literally only worked from here down. Yay, needle minders for the win! I figure at some point I will order another one. I really want one of the Soot Sprites. I got gifted a very, very large piece. Well, it's not as big as this, but it's big enough piece of cloth that Adam actually gridded already. And it didn't work for the project that he was working on. So he was like, here, will you use this? So I said, at some point, I'm sure I will. After he spent an entire day gridding it. I'm like, oh man, that took you forever. I don't really do much to prep my own. This is my first time actually ever gridding, but the only reason that I'm doing it is because of how large this project is. Like, you can see what I've worked here is barely over 1%. So it is a very, very large project. And I am hoping to have zero mistakes. So I actually gridded, and what I ended up, I just used a regular old mechanical pencil. One of my kids was like, I said, I need a pencil. They brought me this, and I was like, you know what, it'll work, because I can erase it, but I'm also going to stitch over all of this so the grid won't be visible anyways, and I'll only have to get rid of this top row of notches that I used for my line guide. I've washed some of my Aida previously, but I didn't with this one because of how big of a piece it was. It would have taken me forever to let it dry, and I was ready to start on the project when I did. And Sandy, I will pull up a picture to show you. I keep a tab open on my phone with the project. But this is what I'm working on. It is the Rainbow Epic Evolution, which this is a retired pattern, but I was gifted the pattern and I'm actually stitching it for my sister. It's very, very big, but I absolutely loved all of the color aspect of it. That's why I'm so excited to do it. I think, yeah, it's very, very bright. It's going to be so pretty. But I think whenever Adam sent me the pattern, he said that it's over 200 colors, which it's all in DMC. And I have every color of DMC, just the plain colors. I don't have like the variegated and stuff, but I do have all of the regular DMC numbers. And I went and spent, I think it was like $25 and got extra of the ones that have the higher stitch count. So like, I think there's like 6 colors that have over 10,000 stitches, which this one, the black, was close to 10,000. Yes, it is a lot, but I know it's going to be absolutely gorgeous when it's finished. And I've already stitched a couple of smaller Vaporeon because that's my sister's favorite Pokemon. And so since it's, you know, an Eevee evolution, I was like, well, you know what? This pattern is beautiful and I'm going to do it. She is a tattoo artist and I figured she could hang this in her booth with her other ones that she's already got on her wall. I mean, not really. I've watched a little bit of it, but I can't say like I'm super knowledgeable. I kind of like Snorlax just because it makes me feel like I'm not so lazy whenever I'm sleeping. I'm sure there's others that I'd probably like more, but just only knowing a few. Yay, 122. You've got this. You can totally do that. That's very, very easy, especially if you got over 1,000 yesterday. You can pull 100 and something, no problem. I know, I feel like that's always a hard part for me. Like, it seems like my videos are kind of repetitious, and I'm like, I want to, you know, bring people in and make them want to stitch more, and or even learn how to stitch. Just, have fun with a craft, even if it's not stitching. There's lots and lots of fiber art. Watching people learn how to crochet, knit, that's awesome too. Hey, I mean, I hate listening to my own voice, so I don't do a whole lot of voiceovers on my videos. I mainly do music. And the first couple that I did, I was so uncomfortable that I had to re-record them multiple times. And then even then, I still wasn't happy with it, the overall product, but I was like, that was the best take out of all of them, so I'll just keep that. Thank you for the follow. Let's see. Need to move a tiny bit. So, oh. Yes. Okay. I was looking at it and I was like, am I in the wrong spot? Don't tell me that. But no, I fixed it. Just by, instead of going up and to the right, went back over my cross. There we go. Yes. And honestly, it on this platform specifically, it is about views. Because the more views you get, the more likely you are to get followers, the more engagement that you'll get. And with TikTok having such a high engagement and follower minimum to monetize, even, it's a little daunting, but I'm just doing mine low and slow, sticking with it, getting people engaged when I can. I also try and, reply back to all comments. It's the little things, I feel like. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna to manage to get more of my stuff out there. But then my husband just keeps pushing me. He's like, you've got this, you look at what you're doing already. And having that little push definitely helps. He's like, hey, you should do a live. Or he'll be like, hey, you haven't posted a video today. And then he's also been taking all of my videos that I post on TikTok and posting them over on YouTube. And he's like, look, you're getting engagement here too. It does matter. I love the craft community. And Stitch Talk is one of the better ones. I feel like everybody's really really welcoming in the community. I am working on 18 count Aida right now. I wanted to do something a little bit smaller, but at the same time, I was like 18, I can still see decently enough. Do you mean like my YouTube? My profile is the same as on here, but if you look in my bio on TikTok, it has my other links. Oh, it's Stitch Talk, TOK. So like the whole stitching community. It's just kind of what everybody calls it. And a lot of people, like if you search up a hashtag for like Stitch Talk, you'll be able to see hundreds of videos of people stitching, showing their progress pictures, all of that kind of stuff. Now, I wish there was an actual like account that did like talking, like TALK, like explaining about things. I have watched a few different YouTubers though that have videos explaining different types of techniques and things like that that have been very helpful too. Yes, so I suggest looking up the hashtags cross stitch or cross stitch of TikTok. Those are the ones I see a lot of people use tag wise. And that's specifically the main ones that I use. So it helps you kind of gravitate towards what you're looking for a little bit more. I've slowly just been following people that I see do, videos, progress pictures, and it brings me to more and more. And now I have hundreds of people that I follow that are all stitchers. And it's such a great community. I even met somebody in real life this week that I met from TikTok. Yes, that is one of the best things about Thread Chicken is if you're doing the pin stitch, it does not take almost any thread to finish it off. Our community is great on here. It always makes me excited to see other people excited. There's literally nobody around here that does this. Living in the South, it's more. I feel like my area is a lot more like quilting than anything. Thank you for the follow. I suggest making sure that you're not using like quilting needles or something. You want to make sure that you're using a blunt tip because you'll end up catching it in splitting your fabric and not going through the actual holes of the Aida. It's a lot harder to get your placement, especially from the back if you're working two-handed like I am. You want that blunted tip, so like an embroidery needle. I was told that I needed to get tulip needles. So I got a container of the tulip needles. They're the tapestry and cross stitch needles, and I'm using a number 25 rounded tip just because whenever I was looking it up, it said that those were the best. So far, I have not regretted spending the little bit of extra money on these needles at all. It literally glides through like butter. I was able to find them on Amazon. And I think it was a container. I think the container had 10 in it. Something like that. But it is definitely a big difference just in being able to guide the needle through a lot easier. I'm like, why did I not know this was a thing before now? But then I feel the same way about like using the pin stitch to end my thread, or using the loop start method to actually begin my thread. It's only been a little over a year since I learned how to do some of this stuff, and it's drastically changed the amount of time that it takes me to get through a project. These say number 25 on them. I just did a Google search to find out what would be the best size to use for 18 count Aida, and that's what it suggested to me. But they have a gold tip. I will say, if you're used to having a larger eye hole and you don't have a threader, you may want to invest in a threader just because it is a lot slimmer than I'm used to. But I've managed to do it okay enough after a little bit of practice. It definitely also matters on what thread I was using. So like when I was doing the dragon bookmark kits, I actually could not use these needles without having a threader because the thread quality is just so poor. But using DMC thread, I haven't had an issue with threading it. Excuse me. My allergies have been acting up this week after spending 4 days out of state. And then coming back home, it's like, oh, hey, look, your normal allergy reactions are going to go back to normal, but they're going to hit you all at once. There you go. My thread was trying to come undone. I was like, nope, we're not playing that game today. Okay. Oops. Okay. Next row. Although I may grab a couple of these outliers. Since they're right here. Okay. Skip one. Saw kitty hair again. That's the only thing I keep finding is just kitty hair everywhere. Every time I say kitty, he looks over at me even though he's trying to sleep. I have 3 more pieces of thread already prepped. I think once I finish those 3, that may be where I stop for today. Well, for this morning anyways. I feel like I probably will end up stitching some more this evening. It's almost like I'm addicted. I'm addicted to cross stitch. Thank you for the follow. It helps me out so much. Thank you. I think I ended up making a whole 35 cents last week. I'm like, hey, look, I'm halfway to a skein of thread. Yes. I feel like that is what it is, though. Especially like the ones that are doing like Epic Pokemon Stitch. Oh my gosh, like, yeah, this one's big, but that one is big. Hey, they matter. So far, that has been such a great purchase. It really does make a difference in how many stitches I can do too. Without having to fight the needle so much, it made it a lot easier. My phone lit up next to me and I was like, what's going on? I was hoping nobody had messaged me for work. I don't want to do any work on the weekend. Yeah, they're not, they're not horrible price. See, I was expecting more expensive when everybody kept saying, hey, you need these needles, I was like, well, do I have the finances to actually invest in it? But yeah, when they weren't too bad, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And yeah, I don't prefer the really long needles. Just long enough for you to grab, like 2 fingers wide is like the perfect distance for me. You are able to guide it better that way. Another kitty hair. I swear I spend more time picking out that kitty hair than anything. If I could stitch with kitty hair, I probably would make bank. Well, I'm glad that I can be an influence then. You know, people are always like, oh, I'm an influencer. I hope to never be an influencer. I just want to be me and share my craft and see other people's work that they do and just be happy. If I end up making a little money off of it, that's great. I would prefer if, it would just help me cover supplies and then I can do more of what I want to do. Yes. I definitely ended up spending a pretty penny this weekend buying some very, very pretty threads. I keep saying weekend, but it was actually this week. I'm still kind of thrown off because I had to drive down to Texas for work on Monday, and we were already going to be there Tuesday and Wednesday, and then driving back Thursday. So my friend just went with me the day early, so I didn't have to drive all the way back just to drive back to Texas again. And we got to go to a concert, and then we went to a large Korean grocery store and got a bunch of Asian goodies. We took 3 big ice chests with us when we left so that we would be able to stock up. Okay, do it. 3. I managed to get a bunch of frozen stuff. Six, 7. I feel like it's been like 45 minutes since I said I had 3 pieces of thread left to do. And I still haven't finished this one that I'm working on. Sometimes time feels like it's going really super slow, and then other times it feels like it's flying by. Today's one of those slow days. Excuse me. I need to go through and make a video with pictures from the concert so I can share. I normally do that the same day as the concert, but I was exhausted after, and I didn't even do as much jumping as normal. Oops. I'm just scared. Everything turns great. Okay. Oh, yay. I'm up to 158 stitches now. So I may end up getting more than I was expecting. It definitely helps, though, that all of this is the same color, so I'm not having to switch threads a bunch. The way you look, the way you look. Okay. Saturday. Don't get beyond it. When I finish this piece of thread, though, I am going to go back up here and nab this section that goes through here. I just didn't want to go crossing back and forth over multiple stitches if I didn't have to, and wasting more thread, so I just worked down a little bit. I really hate wasting thread. I play thread chicken to the end of the world and back. Oh wow. Apparently I've already been live for an hour too, and I didn't even realize it. I guess they do say, the saying, time flies when you're having fun, is actually accurate, because I've just been enjoying myself and didn't realize. I think this is a really bad hobby for somebody who has time blindness, because then you literally sit down, you think you've worked for 5 minutes, and it's been 12 hours, and you haven't moved from the spot that you're in. Sometimes I feel like I do have that a little bit just for this one thing, because like everything else I'm like super vigilant being on time about. This is the only thing that I kind of am like, you know what, I really should pay attention to time. I feel like people that stitch a whole lot probably need alarms on their phone saying, hey, you need to get up and move around and be a human being for 5 minutes before you go back to it again. I'm a turtle inside my shell, just chilling. That's not the song I thought it was going to be. You know, I could probably move this down a little. Make it a little easier to see. There we go. I feel like I got hyper focused there for a second. I did have actually a pretty big milestone yesterday. I ended up adding up my stitches for the year, and I am finally over 150,000 stitches this year as of last night. Which, in my opinion, is like a massive, massive achievement. I don't think I've ever stitched this much in such a short time period in my life. I didn't mark that one off either. I'm ready for this world. I did not mean to hit my camera if it moved it. Let me see. Did it move it? Just a tiny bit. I hit it with my shoulder when I leaned forward. I think I need to clip my nails today. I'm having a hard time gripping my needle because my nails keep getting in the way. No, there's... Yeah. Let me see if I can pick up these before I run out of thread. We're just playing thread chicken over here. One, two, three. This is a full coverage piece. I can show you a picture. So this is the piece that I'm working on. So of course I'm working up in this top corner right up here. I know I was super excited to start it whenever I saw this one. This total, the project is 300 and almost 392,000 stitches. So it's going to take me a long time to do. But I'm 1.11% finished as of right now. It is a lot of stitches. It is so many stitches. I'm actually doing this for my sister because Vaporeon is her favorite. But she's also got 4 kids, and her fiance also is a Pokemon lover, so I was like, you know what? This will work. Oh, nice. I actually don't think I have ever done a sampler, and I really should. I'm like, I see so many people do them, and so many of them are just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, I need to do one. Yes. Wait, are you the one that, because I know I was watching somebody do a Stardew Valley one, and I said my daughter would absolutely love that. Was it a big piece, or was it a small one? Thank you for the follow. I know I saw somebody doing a Stardew Valley one that was like the map and stuff, and it was absolutely awesome. She wants me to actually stitch Sebastian for her. She's like, it doesn't have to be very big, but he's my favorite. I figure this project is going to take me at least a year to complete. And then I have another large one that I also want to work on because I'm going to do the map of Middle Earth for my husband because he's a big Lord of the Rings fan. And I think it's closer to 200,000 stitches, so it's a little bit smaller than this. Yay, welcome back. Yeah, Sebastian's her favorite. But the map of that when I was watching the person stitch was very cute. Don't you know words are hard? Sometimes I'll be, chatting on the lives, answering questions, and literally I'll just stop and stare off into space because I was like, wait, what was I supposed to be answering? I don't even remember anymore. Yay! I'm excited to see. And I know you'll manage to get your 122. You've got it. Or, as Michelle Tanner would say, you got it, dude. Yes, I know you can at least hit that minimum. I'm sure you'll hit that one pretty quickly. Hey, I said a couple hundred stitches and I'm already at 200. So I've already managed my minimum for what I was hoping for. And I still have 2 more pieces of thread after this one. Wow. See? Look at you. That is a very impressive number. So far on this pattern alone, I'm sitting at 43.82. So I don't think that's too bad. That is a very high number, though. It's so exciting. I was really hoping to hit 200,000 by the end of the year. I don't know if I'll manage it or not, but that's my goal. I feel like as long as I get at least an hour or 2 a day stitching, I may manage to hit that. Hey, if that's followers, then that's like hella crazy. I'm getting excited because I'm getting close to 2,000 finally. And then my younger kid, she's 17, and she'll be like, hey, you've got more followers. Look at that. And like, she mainly uses YouTube. And I was like, you should post some of your videos on TikTok. I was like, it's, an easier community to, especially, if you're doing like shorts like she was doing. I was like, just post it to both. And so she started posting it to both, and she was like, oh wow, I'm getting a ton of views on TikTok. And I was like, yeah, it's, in my opinion, the easier platform. Wait, what was it? What did you learn? Why would your stitches suck? I'm honestly curious because I feel like Nobody sucks. I feel like everybody just has their own way of doing things. That's one of the reasons why I really like watching other people stitch, because I'm like, oh, hey, look at theirs. Aw, thank you. See, in my opinion, that's what I enjoy watching too. I enjoy, watching people because it is relaxing. Like, especially if I'm working on a project and I'm watching somebody else's live and just stitching along. It's soothing that you're doing the same craft together, but you get to do different projects. So, are you doing the individual pieces, like individual stitches every single time? Because that's just a different method of the same thing. I don't remember which one's which, but one of them, by finishing each individual stitch and then going by rows. So one is the English method and one is the Dutch method, according to what I've done, what I've seen research wise. And for me personally, this way works better just because I don't lose count as frequently. And it's just the way I learned. But watching some other people do it their way too, I've seen some that look like they're so completely perfect. So I think it's just all about practice more than anything. Well, thank you. You should totally start animating. I'm sorry I missed that. I had to scroll back up. Also, I agree. The back is nobody else's business. I will show people if they ask, because I really don't mind. It doesn't bother me to show people. But, like, I think you have to not worry about what other people think. As long as you're happy with the progress that you're making and the overall picture that you're working on, don't worry about the back. Now, I do feel like doing this makes the stitches more even, and that is also more of a preference. But I've also watched people that do the other way and complete each individual stitch, and theirs looks fantastic too. See, that's what I try and be like, you know what? Everybody has their own method. Do your own method. If you want to try this, you may end up enjoying it this way, and that's going to be awesome. See, since I started using the pin stitch method to end my thread and not weave in the ends anymore, I can definitely tell a difference in what my back looks like. Not having to weave it in, or using, the loop stitch method and not having to weave over your tails to start your thread, it definitely cleans up the back of the material better too. Yes, I agree with you. I think that because in my opinion, this is like therapy to me. It is what I do to wind down. It's what I do when I want something where I can keep my hands busy, but I don't really have to like super focus on it. So like I can turn on music or I can turn on a show and kind of let my mind do its own thing while my hands are doing its own thing. But yes, definitely don't let anybody tell you that your way is wrong. Don't let anybody say, "Oh, hey, you can't cross stitch because your back looks horrible." I've seen people that their backs literally look as good as their fronts. I'm like, never in a million years could I figure out how they do it. I don't know. But I also don't care enough to try and research it and figure it out either. And that is why I have chose to grid this particular project, is exactly because that maths don't be mathing for me. I am counted cross stitch all the way. The printed stuff is good when I like on the smaller projects for when I'm traveling and I don't have to sit and focus on an actual pattern. But counted cross stitch is always going to be the one that I gravitate back towards. Hey, buying pre-gridded is great, especially if you know what size you're going to be working on and you can find a piece that's big enough for you. I don't think I would want completely gridded. Like my little plus signs are enough for me. It helps me not get too overwhelmed with extra lines and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty decent with math, but I agree, cross stitch just kind of makes things different. Yep, and see if you're using 20 or if you're using 14 count, then something just a tiny bit bigger is totally fine. Yay, see? I love that. This is actually what I do. I very seldomly will stitch something for myself. Case in point, this one right here is going to be a gift. All of the ones that I've done pictures and videos of on my profile this year have all been gifts, except for the dragons laying on the books. That one was specifically for myself. But that was also because I am working on making my entertainment center nothing but dragon themed, and I had seen that pattern and I was absolutely in love with it. I thought it was so pretty, so cute. And so I did that one for myself. But pretty much everything else that I have done this year and most of last year were all gifts. Well, and I mean, they have, the pre-gridded, and most of those now are like the water soluble grids. So once you wash your piece after you're finished with it, then the grid marks go away. Since I I don't care because all I've got to do is get rid of these top notches and everything else is going to be worked over. Hi, Rita. Yes, we have been moved and it has been amazing. How are you doing though? Yay, go get it. You can cross stitch with me. Oh, see, I've seen people that use the thread to grid and then they say they just pull it out after the fact. And I'm just worried that it would end up messing up my stitches if I did something like that. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that, Rita. Hopefully it'll only get better. I actually watched a video of somebody that was using fishing line to grid theirs. And I was like, that's a lot of work. Like, this is perfect for me. Oh no. And that kind of trip, even moving across town is a pain in the butt. So moving state to state is not fun. We did that. We had moved from Arkansas to Wyoming, and that was not a fun trip at all. And then we ended up moving back, and that trip was not fun at all. Oh, I wish I could speak Romanian. I do not know any other languages, sadly. I can say a couple of phrases in Spanish and a couple of phrases in Korean. I can say hi in Japanese, konnichiwa. Kamsahamnida for joining my live. Yes, Rita, so did I. I also got the scroll. I got it, and I was like, oh, I hope it gets here by the time I get back from Texas. And it did. I set it up yesterday, so that's what I'm actually using right now. And I'm so happy. It's so worth it. I was like, you know what? I got an extra 10% off code on the scroll, and it was already 50% off. So I used my PayPal, and I'm going to make the 6 payments, no interest, and have it paid off. Oh, yay! Oh my goodness. I know those Pokemon generation ones, like, those are massive. I'm excited to see you work on that. Hopefully you'll be doing a live at some point and I can catch some of it. You have projects. All the projects. So the size of the holes in the fabric is what it means by 16 count. So this, I'm working on 18 count. 16 count is slightly bigger. 14 count is even a little bit bigger than that. The smaller the number, the larger the project is going to be. So this one's 18. I've also done some that were 28, which is very, very small. But the different sizes also will change how many pieces of thread you need as well. But you can. Okay, so until this year, I would say that 14 count was absolutely the best. But I have started doing 18 count. Thank you for the follow. I started doing 18 count just because the projects that I've been doing are quite a bit bigger and it sizes down your overall project just a little bit. I also, though, had a problem with doing the smaller projects until I got my bifocals. Once I actually got my glasses and I was able to see better, then going to 18 was a lot easier. Stamped definitely are a lot more chill. I've done some of the stamped kits from Amazon. I will say that their symbols and numbers do not match up well. You have to have the number chart, the symbol chart, and the printed AIDA, and you have to match all three because all of them are different. So it's a little more frustrating. Did I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I need to mark off a row. I was trying to figure out where I got off. The ones that I've used, I mean, they're not horrible kits other than the symbols and stuff not matching up. But the actual kits themselves, like the AIDA isn't horrible. It's the thread that's the worst part of it. Although I will say the Amazon ones are better than the Walmart ones. Just, my personal preference, any of the printed cross-stitch kits that are done by the Diamond Dots, I stay away from if I can. I have learned that I do not like their materials at all. The patterns are fine. The patterns are totally fine. The materials that they use for the kits are horrible, and I will not do another one. Yeah. Definitely stay away from like the diamond paintings from Diamond Dots aren't horrible, but the cross stitch kits are. Yay! So many people are happy with the Painted Fairy kits, and I definitely suggest trying that out. They have tons and tons of stuff. They do have some kits, but if you have the time and you can order a kit, like Rita was saying from the Painted Fairy site, you're gonna get a better quality that way. Now the ones that I am working on one of just the little tiny kits from Hobby Lobby because that's where we were at, and it wasn't horrible. But ordering your kit's gonna be, it'll give you a little more options too. Rita, you should always be a mod for everybody. See, that's how I learned a lot of stuff. I just would hop in and watch people's lives, watch what they're doing, ask questions. That is literally the best way to learn. I've also done, looked up videos on YouTube on how to do specific stitches and things like that. People that have better camera setups to video and explain things a little bit more. That also helps. Rita, you know so much. Like, I feel like you know a lot more than I do. I will say, putting together this Painted Fairy stand was a challenge. But I was able to, I couldn't follow the picture instructions, but I looked at the overall picture and was able to get it all put together just by looking at the finished picture. This is actually, it technically is one piece of thread, but it's folded over to make two. So when you're doing specific patterns, it will generally tell you how many pieces of thread to use. Since I use the loop start method, I use one piece and it's folded over and turns into two. I definitely suggest, if you're new, look up the loop start method. It will change your stitching life. Oh no, see, I only took about an hour to put mine together, and I think it was because I stopped looking at the instructions and just looked at the overall picture. I think once I did that, it went a whole lot faster. I even watched videos of somebody trying to put it together, and I still could not manage to follow along. You mean the scroll that I'm using? Because yes, it is. The stand is one piece and the scroll is another piece, and it just sits on the stand. But the same website that does the kits that Rita was talking about is also the same company that makes this scroll and stand. If you plan on doing any kind of stitching, like large projects like this, it's an investment that, in my opinion, has already been worth the money. Yes, you can do the loop start by taking one and then folding it over in half. So whenever I finish this thread, I will zoom in a little bit and I will try and show you how I start the pieces, because I'm almost finished with this piece of thread, so then I can show you. Thank you for the follow. See, I love whenever there are other people in the live and they can like explain it a little bit too. It definitely helps, because I am not 100% knowledgeable in everything. I can't always tell you what a particular like style is called. A lot of mine is just learning from other people. That's literally how I've learned so much in this past year. Okay. So let me finish this piece and then I will start a new one and I will zoom in so that I can show you and maybe explain it a little bit. I know there's other people that can explain it better, but I will try. All right. I know the quality got bad because I zoomed in. Sorry in advance. Okay, so I took my strand here. And then here's my loop. Okay. So I thread it first. I start from the top and go down. I've seen a lot of people start from the back and do it, but the way I do it, it actually brings the loop to the back side so you can't see it. So I'll go down into the hole that I'm starting with, and then you go up into your cross hole, right? Your needle goes through that loop, and then you just pull it to tighten it. So then your loop is actually right here on the top. Now go back down through that first hole that you started with and just tug your loop to the back a little bit. And then my thread is started. So then I don't have to worry about weaving it in or anything. See? It literally just starts my 2 pieces of floss. Let's back out now. I hope that made sense. I never will probably go back to sewing over my tail just because it's so much easier to do the loop start, in my opinion. Oh no, don't do that. What do you mean cross-stitching backwards? Oh yeah, see, I'll do that. When I frog though, I just, pull my needle off and I just, pull from the front side and undo the stitches instead of trying to stitch backwards, because when I do that, I end up just going through my thread and making a bigger mess of it. Yes, you heard your food drop. His head just shot up as soon as he heard that. Meow. What? Yeah, definitely. I prefer just unthreading it and then pulling the stitches up. I definitely have messed up way too many and had to actually just cut my thread out by trying to go in reverse. Are you talking about mine, Solitude? Yes. Let me pull it back up. So this is what I'm working on. So I am literally just at this top piece right here with all this black. So it is going to take a very, very long time, but this will be what the finished product looks like. Oh no! I don't think it's going to be difficult, especially not since I've got this stand and scroll, and so I'm able to, before before I scrolled it up on this yesterday, I had most of my fabric folded underneath, and then I was literally using plastic wrap to hold it to the frame in place. So that was the biggest part. I hope you can fix it easy enough. I hate when that happens. it's just going to take me a long time. But so far that I know of, since I've been trying to be really, really careful, I don't think I have any mistakes so far. I've pulled some spots out a few different times to fix it just so that I don't have that issue. I do not want any mistakes. Well, thank you. I feel like I've simultaneously done so many projects and then also have done very few. But I will say, for anybody that's like, especially like still learning, the biggest difference in size is going to make the actual details more prominent. So like I've done pattern generators and made some like 5x7s of, you know, people's faces. And then I decided, oh, hey, well, it's not enough detail. So I went up to an 8x10 and it drastically changes the definition of your pictures. So that's one of those things that you kind of learn, is that like if you want more detail, you're going to have to go with a larger finished product. Yeah, go ahead, Rita. Hey, if you're sleepy though, definitely go get some sleep. I'm only going to finish this piece of thread and then the last one that I've got over there. So it's not like I'm going to be on too much longer. You definitely need rest, especially if you're sleepy and trying to do it, you're more likely to mess up. And we don't want you to have to fix it. I have always just framed my own. Or the most recent ones that I've done have been gifts for my friend, and she has a specific theme she's doing, so she's been ordering her own frames and then she's been framing them. But 99% of the time I frame it myself before I give it to somebody. Yes, this is actually for my sister. She's my baby sister. She's 10 years younger than I am. Which I say baby sister, but she's literally fixing to be 30 next month. So, or actually this month, because it's August now, so she'll be 30 this month. Oh, hi, baby. Yes, she will always be my baby sister. She's also my tattoo artist, so I have lots of tattoos that she's done. This is one of my favorites, the Kodama from Princess Mononoke. Huh? Yes, we'd love more cross stitchers. I feel like I don't even care if it's cross stitch though. If like seeing me crafting gets other people into different kinds of crafts, hey, more crafty people is what we need in this world. And I feel like crafting is kind of an escape, but then some people can even make it their job. I hope to one day be able to do like commission pieces. I want to I've been working on occasionally making little patterns because I want to try and make kits to sell at some point, especially like beginner kits. I totally agree. This is my therapy. And if I could, manage to get my therapy into a job, it could be my jobby. It's my job hobby. But I also want to not make it something that I don't like anymore. So if you ever feel like you're getting burnt out, take a break, do something else. Your crafts will come back. We'll be there when you come back, I should say. Well, thank you. And thank you for the follow. I absolutely love our community. I watch a lot of people that also crochet, knit, like the punch rugs. Oh my God. I'm like, how in the heck did they hold those tools to do those rugs? My arms would literally fall off, I think, trying to do that. But it's so awesome to see. Oh, thank you for the rose. Yes, see, that's me. So I will sometimes read. I'll sometimes play on my PlayStation. I'll stitch. I do diamond painting. And then I've also started throwing in, pattern making here and there. I'm still very, very new to that, and I'm not like super artsy fartsy as far as that goes. So I don't know if I'll ever end up being like super good at that, but I'm learning. There's always that learning curve, especially when you're trying something new. See, I used to crochet. I don't really do much of it anymore. It's just something that I ended up having way too many people when I would gift the stuff that I made. I've had them end up throwing stuff away, and it just kind of jaded me, and I never ended up kind of picking it back up after that. I just ended up giving my mom all of my yarn and just kind of stepped away from that. It's also why I'm very picky about who I make gifts for whenever I cross stitch now, because I always worry. See, that's a good way to go about it. Hi, Crow. Hello, hello. More people coming in. We're just having a big old chat about our stitching community, our craft community. And my hubs is having a sneezing fit. Yes, I love all of the crafty friends. I especially love seeing my crafty friends post their projects. That is like one of the best things to me. Even if I can't stitch it, if I can't crochet it, if I can't knit it, if I can see other people doing what they love, that also makes me happy too. Thank you for the follow. Well, I'm glad that you joined today then. The very first time I was actually in watching a live, it was just basically me in there. I was like the only one, and so she was stitching and I would ask her questions, and it just made me kind of re-up the way that I wanted to stitch more. And then I started finding more and more people on here, and now I've found my people. That's the best part, finding your people. Oh, now that's really cool. I would love to do a piece and give it to a voice actor, because I've actually done quite a few different anime stitches. Oh, he commissioned it for you? Wow. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. I would absolutely love to do something like that. That would just be so cool. It's turned sideways. Ah, hello from Australia. Well, welcome.
G'day, mate. What? Hey.
Oh, wow. Good. You needed the sleep.
It's a little bit weak on this now.
You got a hello mate back.
Dig.
Practicing is the best thing. So, in my opinion, you are never done practicing.
No. No.
You are never done practicing. I will just tell you that right now. This piece that I'm working on, it's practice for me. This is the largest project I've ever done.
No.
So this is practice for me too.
No.
Oh wow,
No.
so it's late
No.
there.
Australia.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you gotta think different times.
We around the world in 80 days. I wish we could have a little bit of the winter.
Which one was from Australia?
Jody.
Oh. So she's, so it's the guy I love.
I kind of wish that we had a little bit, because this heat wave that we're dealing with is just insane right now. I'm not a fan of like 100-degree weather.
Oh, man. Look at how they
and
feel.
Our humidity is insane.
Look at how they feel in Australia. when they do the tour down under, they'll have days where they're riding in a heat of like 120 degrees.
Oh my gosh. So I absolutely actually love working on Black Ada with white because I think it has such a pop to it. Like you could do like a full coverage piece of, working on white and then stitching all of the black. But the Black Ada with the white thread just literally makes that pop so much more. It's so satisfying. Uh, is it my profile picture that I have on there right now? Yeah, my bubble is actually Black Ada stitched with white.
Oh yeah, the BCS.
I did that pattern myself.
The bulletproof.
Yeah. The BTS bulletproof vest that they had before they changed their logo. Oh, that's awesome. Owns a tavern. I'm getting a little tired of working all this black on this white right now, but since it's been such a large area of black, I wanted to kind of get it worked up before I started in on some of the other colors. So I'm actually using an arm that has a phone holder stand connected to the end of it.
Yeah, I can't take a picture of it and send it in the chat.
I will say that working on black is very hard to do. Definitely have a very good light and maybe a magnifying glass that will help.
You want me to send her a picture, like personally?
My husband said that he can send you a picture of what my stand looks like to see how I have my phone.
Oh, did you see that?
Yep.
Ugh. We got a
Let me
spammer.
see. There. Got rid of that. But I absolutely, it definitely helps having a setup.
Got your tattoos in it too.
I still don't all the time have the perfect camera angle. I mess with it a lot, but I try and do this particular angle when I'm recording.
Let me send a picture.
You have to be friends with you, I think. Yeah, you have to, and they have to.
Follow me back.
Yes. So he went ahead and he followed you so that he can send you a picture.
Over 21,000 followers.
Thank you for the follow. Yes, my light, my friend actually bought this light for me, and it has made a huge difference in being able to see what I'm doing. I don't have a magnifying glass, but I do have bifocals now, so it's made it a lot easier. But definitely, in my opinion, bright light and magnifying glass to work on Black Ada, because being able to see it is a lot harder than it is on, say, doing it on white. It is such a different perspective. You know what? I messed up. Because I didn't mark off a row. I have to pull a couple of these half stitches out. Thankfully, I caught it before I got too far. I just didn't skip one.
Still not letting me see the picture.
That's weird. Let's see. Oh. Hey, at least it was only a couple of half stitches that I had to pull back. So it's not that big of a deal. But I'm really, really trying to not have any mistakes in this piece. So I definitely wanted to pull that back. But I think it was only 5 half stitches that I got before I noticed. Did you mark his notification as safe on your side because it won't let him send anything right now? Oh no. Yeah, when you get really far. Moon over you also wants you to add.
Maybe we need to make a video of your setup.
Yeah. We may just do that if you follow me so that you can get it. I can take a new video of my better setup. Yeah.
There it is.
You have to actually go through and they have to mark it as safe before you can send photos. So if you he can add you.
Let me go back to your line.
But yeah, I think we'll also go ahead and I'll have him record a short video for us to post.
That's why I was getting that.
Yeah. You have to follow back and they have to.
Yeah, I did. I requested.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do that too. So like if I manage to make a big mistake like that, I might pull it all out and then just leave it and then go back to it later and fix it. So some of the people have been buying their kits from the Painted Fairy cross stitch site. I'm sure if you've followed any kind of cross stitcher, you've probably seen their scroll frame stand and scrolls, and they also do printed kits as well. Oh no, don't throw it away.
You're not following that.
Thank you for the follow. I've only actually thrown one project away, and it was because it got damaged. Yeah.
You're not going to follow that.
Oh, across the room. Okay, I was gonna say, no, don't throw it away.
Throw it.
That's where my brain just reads words that are not there. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I've only thrown one away and it was damaged, and I've actually I can show you a picture of the one because I really want to get the pattern again, but I've only been able to find it as a book on Etsy, and I don't have the money to spend on that for now, but that's the one. That's the only one that I've actually thrown away. So, but it was because the actual Ada. What's your account name?
They're looking for you.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember what your profile is.
Daniel P. Total 22.
Look for one from Daniel. He sent you a friend request. But I will go through, and once I finish the live, I'll have him record a video real quick to show what my setup looks like while I'm sitting here.
Daniel Paul Tuttle. Mine's at Daniel Paul Tuttle.
Yes, it says Daniel Paul Tuttle on the account. Well, thank you. It's taken me a while to get it kind of fixed the way I want it. But now I've actually been able to stitch a lot more.
Yeah, how many followers do they get that they have to?
Yeah, there's still different camera setups that I could probably do, but the way that I have this for now has worked really well. I've never done any My Hero, but I've done, I made a pattern that had the mask from Princess Mononoke. I've done Totoro. I've done Howl. I've also done multiples of Ed from Full Metal Alchemist. I will definitely look after I finish my live. I'm all about some progress pictures and such. It always makes me happy. I almost poked myself. I will say, though, that I'm already, super obsessed with this scroll and the frame. Being able to actually see my tablet in front of my face instead of having to look over at the side, because I had another like boom arm type thing that was holding my tablet, and then one that was holding my phone, and I was constantly having to look around my phone to see my tablet. And so having it set up in front of me on my stand has definitely made a difference as well. See, just even knowing that you're doing it for the voice actor of that is like badass in my opinion. It's just hella cool. Woo! See? You're already almost halfway to your minimum. Told you could do it. If I wasn't bugging you so much, you'd probably be done already. Okay. See, I'm bugging you so much that you can't actually focus on what you're doing. Hi, Lynn. Have you been creeping and I just didn't notice? Or did you just join?
Mauritian babe.
Okay, I'll bug you. Bzz, 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 bzz. Who doesn't love a good bug? Me, by the way. That's me. I don't like bugs. Well, I'm glad I got to say hi at least. I've got a lot of engagement today, so I feel like I'm probably missing a bunch of people's questions or comments. But I'm trying, I promise.
See? Mauritian babe.
You know face, but you don't know name? I'm so bad.
Do you even know where Mauritius is?
No.
It's an island off the east coast of Africa.
Nice.
Actually,
Why would I know that? You know I'm really bad with geography.
Well, women's cycling.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I immediately thought you were going to say the women's Giro.
Well, I don't know if she has the champion of Mauritius. She is really good. She's actually won a few races. No, what are you doing?
He wants to spend time with you.
No, but
okay, so I've got I know, kitty. I know, kitty cat. I want to start singing cat. I'm a kitty cat. Dance, 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 dance.
Yeah, Kim LaCourt is her name.
Kim La Kardashian.
No, God. Yeah, she became the first African woman to win Bastogne Liège.
See, that would be really cool.
And first African female cyclist to wear the yellow jersey when
Like,
Tour de France.
I've seen other people doing like the stitch alongs, and you know how you get like a part of the pattern each time. And I'm just like, I would so love to do one of those, but at the same time, every time one of them gets posted, I don't see it until after they've already closed the admissions. And I'm like, oh man, I missed out. Like, I saw somebody doing, I think they were doing one for Jelly World, and I was like, oh my god, that one's so pretty.
What's that?
What? I went, oh, I can't get it. And then I went, dur, dur, dur.
So it sounded like you were trying to do the music from Willow.
Nope. Yeah, I still think even doing that would be fine. Man, I want to know who has, like, I've got hella patience when it comes to stitching, but I want to know who can stitch for 24 hours, because I feel like I would get super tired after like hour 8, and I would have to go to bed, and then I would miss all of the rest of it. Now I'm excited to go see what you guys are talking about when I get finished. I've got multiple people I gotta look up and see some of their stuff now.
That's awesome. It's fun to make friends.
Yes, it is. And
it's better than flags. Friends with flags.
It's fun with flags.
No, it's better with friends. Didn't you know that?
Yes. Any kind of fiber art friends, honestly. Like, I love watching people crochet, knit, the punch rugs. Oh man, I watched, yes, I punch rugs. Or like tatting. That one is like hella intricate. My granny used to do tatting, and so watching some people do tatting now, I'm just like, whoa.
She said, I like making embroidery.
See, I could totally see, like, I want to go to like one of those conventions where they have like tables set up and everybody brings their projects and they all sit and chat and work on their own things. I used to watch her make doilies all the time, and I'm like, how?
Oh, that's a stupid joke.
No. Did you know Gabby does tatting too?
Yeah, I was thinking it.
Just a different kind. I'm actually on the last piece of thread that I had set up finally.
Cool. People are following each other in the chat.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Making more friends. especially in the same type of community. I see a lot of people that follow each other. Like I know I have some friends and it says literally like following such and such and 42 other mutuals, and I'm like, wow, we made a big old community of it, huh?
That'd be awesome if
I
they
love
can
it.
get up over 1,000 mutuals.
That's a big old number though. It is. It's so fun. The community is just great. And like helping each other out, you know, explaining things that like I definitely do not know, in my opinion, anything about cross stitching. Because the amount that I don't know will always far surpass what I do know
Outweighs
about
the
it.
needs of the many, or the needs of the few, or the one.
I will always be learning. I will always be just practicing my art.
Drinking.
Yep.
That was a very good investment.
I mean, he's already drank so much more water just by having that fountain.
Yeah.
The kitty fountain is totally worth it. I think that would be awesome. I watch multiple people that do, you know, the shared lives, and it's always a fun community.
I've always thought that, it'd be great if somebody did that with you. Other people in their lives, like, follow you. People in your lives follow them.
Mm-hmm.
Build even more community. That's what this should be about.
Yeah, and like everybody works on their own projects, but they're all doing everything together. Oh, look, Lynn made it back. Actually, I don't think I can do it right now though. I was finishing this last piece and then I was actually going to get off here. But maybe we can set up a time together that we could set one up and get some other people joined in too. Because I would think that would be really cool. It would give us some time to actually pull some more people in.
They can't see this big smile on my face. I think this is amazing.
My husband's super excited.
I'm an idealist.
Yes, Lynn, you should definitely join in too.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing one today.
You're going to go live on.
Yeah, I was going to switch over to gaming, but I can still be in the live and chat along because I don't play multiplayer games, so I can always pause my game. I'm just finishing this one last piece of thread for now, and then I was going to get off live and switch. So then I can join in on your live that way. I know what you mean by, not wanting to do it alone. That's why I love this community so much. Because for the longest time, my mom was the only one that I knew that actually stitched.
You have to really get out of bed.
Hey, sometimes just having a reason to get out of bed or just thinking about stitching is my reason for getting out of bed. So that's why I ended up awake a little bit earlier this morning. Like I woke up and I was like, well, you know what? I could go in there and I could stitch for a while. I could do a live. So if you definitely get out of bed and get set up, then we can join in. Are you going to be a bed potato instead of a couch potato? I know, I'm hilarious. I'm hilarious. You know what, though? I think I messed up.
Uh-oh.
1, 2, 3. I did, but
have to leave.
I did mess up.
Get bed sores.
But
Well, you have to get out of bed and move. Take showers.
Thank you for the follow. Okay, so I'm stitching the row below it when I am supposed to be stitching the one that I already have, but all I have to do, I am distracting myself. Thank you for the follow. Oh, I love the name, Silly Goose. That's awesome.
It's what
You
you used
silly
to
goose.
always call me. You used to call me a silly goose all the time.
But all I gotta do is pick up some of those because I actually skipped where I don't need to skip. So that's not a hard fix. Yay! See, that's what we love. We love people coming in and finding a new project, finding a new craft. And in my opinion, cross stitch is a really good one to do. And there are millions, in my opinion, of cross stitch patterns that you can find online, all digital. You know what I forgot to do though? When we were in Texas, I was gonna look up the 1, 2, 3 stitch store and see about going there. I spent so much money in the other store that I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I'll have to start putting more money back again for next time we go down there. So that way you can get.
Oh, that sounds so cool. Is it a printed kit? Or is it a counted cross stitch like this?
30 years off now? Oh, cross stitch.
Oh no, okay. Well, I will try and catch your live when you do manage to get that set up.
Yikes.
Okay, that's awesome. I like all the fun needle minders. I definitely plan on making a video later though that shows my haul from what I got when we were in Texas.
And your setup.
Yep. Well, I was going to let you film it and then just send me the video and I can edit it. and post it.
Commentate.
Yes, you definitely have to, because I want to see that. That sounds adorable. Okay. I think I'm gonna... Hey, whatever works. I mean, I tend to buy stuff when I'm getting other stuff already.
Yeah, I need to start setting mine back so you can buy some stuff next time we get on there.
More from H Mart.
No, I mean, like you said, the 1, 2, 3 store and that other store. I need to go back and look at some more.
Dude, I would love to go back to that other store. I'm definitely gonna have to. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's silk threads, so.
The Amazon.
That was me.
Yourself.
When I post that video, I will say that it was one of the most expensive investments that can't be reused. So, like, I would say the scroll and the frame is the biggest purchase, but that I can reuse this for years to come. The purchase that I made while I was in Texas of the bag of threads, the very tiny bag of threads, was a very, very expensive purchase, but it was my first time actually getting to go to a shop that did like the threads and all of the embroidery and cross stitch stuff. See, sometimes that's the best way to go about it. My mom asked me one time, she was like, when I die, would you want all of my cross stitch stuff? Like, sure, absolutely. She's got a lot of stuff. She's got not as much as I do, though. Actually, most of the stuff that she has is things that I've given her. Since I was upgrading my scroll and frame, I gave her a bunch of stuff that I knew I wasn't going to need anymore. Actually, I'm working on 18 count. So this is 2 threads. Technically it's 1, but it's folded in half to make 2. So I can do the loop start. I agree. Now that I've been stitching on 18 count, 14 does seem rather large. It makes me feel like I could do something else. Like, I think the smallest I would be willing to go, though, is 22. I did a project on 28 doing 1/1, and even though I was happy that it decreased the overall size of the project and the supplies that I needed for it. It was so hard to see that it took me a lot longer than I feel like it should have. So to me, 18 count seems like that good medium. Yes, seriously, me too. The loop start method, the pin stitch method, and using Pattern Keeper are my top 3. It's where you take one piece of thread and instead of having to weave in your ends or go over your ends, you actually use the loop to make to start it with, which I suggest going on YouTube and looking up. There's a video where she shows 4 different ways to begin and end a stitch. And that's how I learned to do the loop start method and the pin stitch method. I will also say that if you do the loop stitch and the pin stitch to finish, so if you start with the loop stitch and finish with the pin stitch, you will waste a lot less thread. Your backs will be neater, which nobody cares what it looks like, but if you do care specifically.
We're nerds too.
But I definitely suggest looking that up. I really wish I could remember the name of the person that does the video, but it was literally her showing and explaining 4 different ways to start and end a stitch. And it was so informative to me. I will say, doing a pin stitch method to end your fabric or end your thread though is going to be harder the smaller your fabric is. So if you're doing, in my opinion, anything smaller than 18 count, you're going to have a harder time doing a pin stitch method to end it, just because you have less fabric to work with to pin it, if that makes sense anyways. Oh, looks like her throat hurts. And see, that's why I say if you're fine with showing the back of your fabric, then go ahead and show. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. But the people that are rude about seeing the back of your project, and like if they have words to say about it, those are the people that you don't really want in your community with you. You want the people that they don't care. They're interested in seeing it, yes, but it also doesn't matter. And I will say that is one of the reasons why I am very careful with who I stitch for now, because I've had people that just did not appreciate what I was doing. And I'm sorry, but when like, especially if it was something this size, like this piece is going to be absolutely massive. It's going to take me over a year to complete, probably closer to a year and a half. And if the person that I was making this for was rude at all about it, I would think twice about ever making them a gift again. And that's also like the people that just don't deserve your time and effort. Let me pull up the picture and I can show you. Okay, this is what I'm working on right now. Yep, it's the Epic Rainbow Evolutions. It's a discontinued pattern, but it's absolutely massive, but so pretty color-wise. I mean, it doesn't, of course, look like it with what I'm stitching right now because, of course, I'm doing all black work. But I am trying to get this big section of this black done so that I can start working the colors around it. And I'm making this for my baby sister. Vaporeon is her favorite Pokemon. And I've already stitched her 2 different Vaporeon stitches. They were like little 4x4 pieces. I did one shiny and one regular. But she is an artist, and so for giving stuff to her, I know she will actually appreciate my artwork. And don't ever let anybody tell you that what you stitch is not art. I've had somebody tell me that. Like, that's oh, well, you know, that's not art. You're just following a pattern.
Why would it not be? Why wouldn't it be called? Why is it called arts and crafts?
Yep, exactly. This is art. It is one medium. So, if you ever come across anybody that tells you that as well, they are also somebody that you don't really want in your corner with you as well. But I'm very picky with who I give my gifts to because of people like that don't appreciate it. I'm sorry if I'm taking hours and hours. Like, this one's going to take me hundreds of hours to complete. So, know your worth is another one that I like to say to people. Know your worth, because what you're doing, it doesn't matter. If they're not appreciative of it, definitely just take it back. Be like, you know what, look, I'm just going to, re-gift this to somebody that will appreciate it.
Yes, she's absolutely right. Your hearts do go into those.
Yep, I agree, they do.
Your blood goes in you stab yourself.
I haven't stabbed myself working on this one yet, so I think I'm okay. But yes, when they take that much time, you know that somebody did this with you in mind the entire time. It wasn't just, well, they just made this just because they can. No. A lot of times the pattern that you pick to make for somebody is specifically coded to them. Like, you picked it with them in mind.
What's that?
I don't know.
I think somebody's mowing.
It's not us.
Not us. We know we're inside.
Well, I mean, we can't mow right now. We're waiting on a mower blade.
Yeah, it's next door.
Hank?
No, over there.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what his name is. Hey, look. I'm almost finished with this piece of thread. It's exciting. I started with 6 pieces today. When I was getting set up, I was like, I will stitch until I finish these pieces. And that's what I have done.
Just fall over.
Do not fall over. It would take me longer to get up to help you up than it would for you to actually get up when you fall. But that's the best thing about this scroll and stand is that the scroll just sits on top of the stand. It's not connected, so you can literally move the entire piece that you're working on. So I set it back behind my cabinets over here so that the cat wouldn't claw at it if he so chose to. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm worried about right now because, he's still mostly a little kitty. He's not even 2 years old yet. So he has a tendency to scratch stuff, and we're trying to teach him not to do that, except for his scratching stuff. But I think if I do anything else later, I don't know if I'll end up stitching anymore later, but I definitely think I'll work on moving my gridding down through the rest of the fabric down there too. Oh, likes to keep your attention, huh? Or is it just that the puppy likes to try and eat your work? And there we go, 6 pieces of thread. All done. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I get it. All right. So that's where we're sitting right now. And that was almost 500 stitches today with those 6 pieces of thread. So I just went ahead and marked these off since I've already done that row. All I have to do is go back across it. But yeah, almost 500 stitches today. So I am sitting at 1.19% now. But I think that's where I'm going to end my live. I will, before I get up, have him do a video of what my setup looks like with me sitting on the couch before I move. That way you're able to see how I was recording.
Maybe she'll let me get her pretty face in it too.
Oh, hush. Hush, hush, hush. But anyways, that's where I'm going to end. Yeah. Yorkies are definitely something else.
No.
Oh, you're getting so close. Yay. Hit that 122. You got it. But I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I might do another live tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. You may. It'll depend on how I feel when I wake up in the morning. But thank you for joining me. And I will see you lovelies later.